Hey guys, welcome to another video. This of course is SM Dicing. First and foremost, I want to go ahead and thank everyone who gave me such incredible support on my last video. If it weren't for you guys, maybe I wouldn't even be doing this right now, because it really took a lot to convince myself to get back into this routine. And speaking of which, this is going to be the first video of 4 straight videos, minus maybe on Thanksgiving of course, because I'll be with family, of straight content. Now, I kind of teased the last video. I said I'm going to make a money-making guide, right? And I think I said specifically something along the lines of 100 bill in 3 hours. Now, after testing this theory a couple times over, I would say a more accurate theory, maybe about 80 bill with current prices in 3 hours, but it's still going to be done. I'm still going to teach you how to do that. But before we get into that video, I have a little bit of a favor to ask each and every one of you. If you can go ahead and pause the video, click that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. You're going to be in a roller coaster of incredible content next week, and I'd really appreciate it if you'd come along with me, as well as go ahead and click that link in the description. It's a referral link to the server SpawnPk. It's the one I make all my videos on, but if you watched last video, you know exactly how important that is to me, that you click that. It means a lot to me, and I'm sure if you've never played this before, you'll have a ton of fun on the server. And one more thing before we get too far into the video, you're going to want to stick around. We're going to have giveaway results from last video, as well as a brand new giveaway at the end of the video, so please stick around for that, as well as the entire video is going to be action-packed with lots of information that you can use regardless of whether you're a noob to the game or you're a veteran player. Now again, this is going to be a little bit catered to our veteran player base, but I'm sure you'll get a lot of value from it either way. So getting right into the video, I want to go ahead and say that we're going to be covering 2 types, I guess 2 methods within this guide that's going to help you build a sustainable, what I would consider mid-tier bank. Let's say somewhere between 100 bill and 300 bill over the next couple days. And don't get me wrong, that's a lot of money, and it should be a great start to really getting you towards your goals at SpawnPk. Now, for those of you who may have guessed, the first way we're going to be discussing is of course PKing, specifically tier 10 farming. Now, if you're an old school RuneScape player, this is not too dissimilar to what you are used to on old school. In fact, it's a lot more fun on SpawnPk. Now, once you've done that tier farming that we'll explain a little bit later, how do you make money from it? I'm going to show you how it's so profitable. If you go ahead and go to the emblem trader at home, you'll go ahead and see an option to sell your emblems. You'll see that this particular tier 10 is worth 5 million bounties. If you go to his shop here, if you stand next to him, you'll see that there's a couple of items, one being the Cursed Void and the Cursed Relic, that's worth between 40 million bounties and 50 million bounties. Now, if you go over to the trading post here at our player-owned shops, you'll go ahead and type in Cursed Void. You'll see that they're averaging around 35 bill. In fact, that's a little bit down from where they were a week ago at about 40 bill. Still, that's somewhere between 4.5 and 5 bill every single emblem. And if I'm guessing correctly, the relic's not going to be too far off. Yeah, about 5 bill more. So it'd probably be more price efficient for you to go ahead and do the Cursed Void, but regardless, every time you get one of these tier 10 emblems, that's around 4.5 to 5 bill. And if you're anything like me, in an hour period of time, I can get anywhere between 4 and 5 tier 10 emblems if I'm PKing correctly. Now, you may be saying to yourself, Chris, how on earth do you get between 4 and 5 tier 10s every single hour? Well, for the most part, it's just having really good PKing gear. This is my typical PKing gear for low risk but high reward PKing. I also have a lot of benefits of bringing other blood money, as well as existing emblems that I have that I can upgrade directly from my bank. But the biggest thing here is a perk from the blood perk tree, which is called Emblem Snatcher. Now, Emblem Snatcher says that every 1 in 3 kills you're going to get, or at least every kill with a target, you have a chance of getting their emblem, whether that be a tier 1 or a tier 9, or maybe they have a tier 9 and you're upgraded by the kill, you could get a free tier 10. If I step out into the wild, you'll see my target is this guy right here, and that he is risking right now a tier 1 emblem. There's a chance if I kill him that I will acquire that tier 10 emblem, now, or tier 1 emblem. Some people will be risking tier 1, some people are risking tier 3s, 4s, 5s, even 8s and 9s. And obviously, if they have a higher tier, there's probably a good chance that they're tough to kill. However, if you have better gear than them or just have a lucky spec, there's a good chance that you can go ahead and take over their emblem, which is an easy turnover for profit for you. The other components of profit that you were probably wondering about is simply just PKing people for one of a couple things. One being blood money. Obviously, I maxed out my blood perk tree, so I get the max amount of blood money. And we'll show you how to amplify that by yourself, regardless of your blood perk progress in a little bit. But also risking or finding people with risk. It's similar to a video I made a couple of months ago, which was how to become a trillionaire by PKing. And that basically covered the premise of low risk with yourself. So let's say you're risking 200 mil, but fight people with something like a 600 mil risk or a 2 bill risk. And if you know you're a good PKer, go for that higher risk. Tempt people to risk more if you know you have a better chance of killing them. Now, if you're fairly new to this game, one thing you can do to instantly amplify your progress as well as your profit is voting. When you vote, you get a couple of these depending on your donated rank. The Bloodlust Scroll is going to add 10 plus blood money for every kill that you get for 5 minutes. But wait, what if you've already voted or you go ahead and run out of Bloodlust Scrolls? Well, with the new update of player-owned houses, there's a really cool invention called the enchantment pull, or a spec pull that people call them. If you go over here, I'm going to go ahead and go to Hook V2's house. You can go ahead and yell and find out whoever has a enchanted pool. But if I walk over here, you'll see one of these guys. It's an enchanted pool. When I click on it, it's going to give me a couple of different benefits. One, it's going to restore my spec. So if you're someone that's used to going to Duel Arena to restore your spec, this may be a little faster for you. And two, I believe it's not going to let me because I've already done it so far this hour, but yeah, it's not going to let me. It's going to go put you not a 5-minute bloodlust, but a 10-minute bloodlust, and that's for free. You don't even have to vote for to do that. And that's going to be 10 minutes of plus 10 blood money per kill. And depending on your streaks, that can be anywhere from 10 blood money or 40 mil to 20 blood money, so 80 to 100 mil. And that's a lot when you consider that you're racking up kills on the way to getting your tier 10 emblem farm. Now, before we go ahead and get into fighting, let's go ahead and talk about gear. First off, if you're someone who can go ahead and prod, let's say you're not, you've not quite gotten your 50 kill streak for the requirement for max cape yet. A lot of people see going in full primal, they don't want to skull, maybe they're kind of prodding with the vines, but the reason why they do that is they ensure they have a better chance of killing someone without dying, or at least not dying, right? If you're trying to get tier emblems, not dying is super important. So one thing we're going to go and talk about is just a simple gear that I prefer using. Now, if you're someone that's kind of like me in your end game, obviously some of these items may look familiar. Sponsor cape, not a lot of people are sponsor, but you can go ahead and sub that out with a killed cape, a fire cape, maybe a max cape. I full cursed plates armor. Obviously some people have that more often than things like the amulet of torture ornament. Now I have a lot of auto keeps here. However, pretty basic. You can go ahead and use your fighter torso and Varric's plate skirts. You can use Barrow's gloves. Obviously everyone has dragon boots, and you can use a ring of recoil instead of a ring of vigor eye. One thing you can do in addition to this one that I don't even have right now is have a special spirit pet. Whenever you have a special spirit pet, your special attack is going to recover quicker, therefore giving you more opportunities to go for that really important kill shot that you want to go ahead and progress you on this journey towards that tier 10 farm. Alright, so I just got a kill. Took me a little bit of time to get a fight here, but you go ahead and see that I got 31 blood money from that last kill. That alone right now is 130 mil. Plus I got this statuette as well as a tier upgrade. So every single kill you're making progress, and I think that's what's really important. In this, like the time that you take to get those 8 tier 10s, you may make 35 bill from that tier 10s, but you'll also make an additional 10 bill between all of your blood money as well as the extra loot that you pick up. At the end of the day, not everyone is a PKer. However, I am, and many people are, especially if they're playing SpawnPk for the PKing aspect. So this could be a really easy way for them to make some easy money, and they can use that money to do what I would say is probably a little more sustainable, and a lot of people would probably agree with me, which is merching. Obviously, we're not going to go ahead and carry our entire banks out with us whenever we're PKing. So as you continue to PK and continue to build more money, you can go ahead and upgrade your gear, things like upgrading to an Elder Maul or upgrading to a particular pet. However, there's a good chance that you're still going to have spare cash, in which case I'd recommend doing things like merchanting. One really easy way to merchant, and I'll tell you this from experience because I've been on both sides of it, is go ahead and use the Yell system that is already built in for your benefit, and I'll go ahead and show you here. When you are merchanting, you'll often see people things like cheap sale or sale my TP, which means they have a sale that they're trying to publicize or advertise on Yell that they have in the trading post. So if you look at my trading post, it's pretty dead. But you may see someone like I'll go ahead and do Holy Zerk, please. No particular reason there, but let's say you have this big trading post. This particular person is trying to get rid of all of their blood money, and they have a big offer here. And let's say that Bowflex's alt does not have a stupid, ridiculous price on his blood money, and his blood money is for 4.5 mil per blood money, or 4 mil. And I say to myself, hey, you have a lot of blood money here. I'm going to go ahead and buy in bulk, or just shoot you an offer. How about you sell all of your blood money to me for 3.5 mil each? And maybe that person wants that money right away, in which case the basis of merchanting is selling low or buying low and selling high. So if I know that blood money, if you type in here, usually sells between 3.9 and 4 mil, sometimes upwards to 4.5 mil per blood money, that 3.5 mil is a really easy merch for me. And if that person's not patient enough to have it in the trading post, or maybe doesn't know the prices, that's an easy flip for you. Now, probably the easiest way to flip money is doing bonds. So if you go to bonds over here, you'll see right away that they're pretty valuable. Bonds are made by donating money. So if someone's donating money, or maybe they're just trying to get rich quick, you can go ahead and type in on Yell, selling bonds 1.3 each. So that's going to say 1.3 bill per $1. So that would be a 10 bond for 13 bill. Now I can tell you from experience, I just sold a 10 bond earlier today for 144 bags, right? So that'd be a 1.4 bill profit. Now, it takes a little bit of patience, but as you get into higher bonds, let's say 20 bonds, 30, 45 bonds, 75 bonds, 100 bonds, you can start making even more profit, somewhere between the lines of 15 and 20 bill per bond. And that's a big difference. And every time you make a merchant like that, you're growing your bank and you're not losing it. I say that with heavy emphasis because I'm someone that is very tempted that whenever I have free cash, I'll go ahead and stake it. In fact, you'll see me a lot of times in the duel arena. It's still a very toxic place for me. But this is the absolute quickest, most sustainable way, in my opinion, for people to gain money. If you're new here and you just don't like the grind, if you want to PK and don't know how to make money, do this tier 10 farming. One thing to never be afraid of is running. I think a lot of people want to stay in deathmatch, but how many people are really going to do the same for you? If you find out that you have no chance whatsoever and you're risking something like a tier 5 or tier 6, just telly, don't risk it. Because when you think about it, in your hands, you have a potential 4 to 5 bill right there, and you could potentially lose it at any second to some stupid spec. That's my advice, and now on to some more information about future videos. First off, go ahead and thank everyone for watching this video all the way through. I'm sure that every single one of you did it and poured it all. I honestly hope that this information helps you out, because I know that for me, if I knew this information early on, it would have saved me a lot of money, would have saved me a lot of donating probably. And for you, you're already PKing, might as well capitalize to the highest ability from those things. So just kind of being more efficient with things. As far as last video's giveaway, I'm going to go ahead and put the giveaway winner up right now. So go ahead and feel free to PM me at any point for that $30 bond, as well as we'll be giving away $40 in bonds, two $20 bonds in total, to the winners, of this next video. All you have to do is go ahead and click that referral link down below. That's first and foremost. But like the video, subscribe, and comment your in-game name along with something interesting. If you just put an in-game name down, I'm not going to pick you. And I really appreciate all the support. Feel free to give me some feedback, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video.